Do you remember Sears? Sears, Roebuck & Company, commonly known as Sears, is an American chain of department stores that began in 1892 and is still in operation today. Barely. Welcome to Eric C. Productions. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you get notified of my latest videos that are posted daily. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video, and you just might see it in my next post. And now, back to the program.
I know where it is, know just where to go. Oh, hurry up, Mom, why are you so slow?
There's more for your life at Sears.
Unfortunately, the car has 4 tires we don't need anymore. Oh no, now what's she stopping for?
There's more for your life at Sears. Here's a brand new phone that's calling you.
Hey Mom, what about me?
Levi's looks and Arnie Kula calls.
Now who is she? Weren't we gonna shop for me? We're almost there. Here's what I like. It took so long, but years gone by.
There's more for your life.
Come celebrate Sears' 100th anniversary. See all the ways we've changed and all the ways we haven't.
More for my life
At Sears.
The year was 1892. Sears was founded by Richard Warren Sears and Alva Curtis Roebuck. In Chicago, Illinois, Sears established a new mail-order firm selling watches and jewelry with Roebuck as his partner, operating as A.C. Roebuck Watch Company. In 1893, they renamed the company to Sears, Roebuck & Company and began to diversify the product lines offered in their catalogs. Before the Sears catalog, farmers near small rural towns usually purchased supplies, often at high prices and on credit, from local general stores with narrow selections of goods. Prices were negotiated and relied on the storekeeper's estimate of a customer's creditworthiness. Sears took advantage of this by publishing catalogs offering customers a wider selection of products at clearly stated prices. By 1894, the Sears catalog had grown to 322 pages, including many new items such as sewing machines, bicycles, sporting goods, and automobiles. By 1895, the company was producing a 532-page catalog. Sales were more than $750,000, $23 million in today's value. The financial panic of 1893 led to a recession, causing the catalog company a cash squeeze and large quantities of unsold merchandise by 1895. Roebuck decided to quit. Sears offered Roebuck's half of the company to Chicago businessman Aaron Nussbaum, who in turn brought in his brother-in-law, Julius Rosenwald, to whom Sears owed money to. In August 1895, they bought Roebuck's half of the company for $75,000, $2.3 million today. Sears and Rosenwald got along well with each other, but not with Nussbaum. They bought him out for $1.3 million in 1903, $37 million value today. Rosenwald brought to the mail-order firm a rational management philosophy and diversified product lines: dry goods, consumer durables, drugs, hardware, furniture, and nearly anything else a farm household could desire. In 1906, the company went public. Sears and Rosenwald established Sears, Roebuck & Company in the state of New York, which effectively replaced the original company. Also in 1906, Sears opened its catalog plant and the Sears Merchandise Building Tower in Chicago's West Side. The company began to introduce its own brands in the 1920s, including Craftsman, Die Hard, and Kenmore. As the nation urbanized, Sears' business model faced competition from city department stores. The mail-order market was based on rural America with a slow-growing population and far less spending power than in urban America. Rosenwald decided to shift emphasis to urban America, who brought in Robert E. Wood to take charge. Rosenwald oversaw the design and construction of the firm's first department store. It was built on land within the Sears, Roebuck and Company complex. The store opened in 1925. The first Sears retail stores were pioneering and broke the conventions of the time in three ways. First, their location away from main shopping districts. Second, their innovative store design. And third, their unconventional product mix and retailing practices. Sears was also a pioneer in creating department stores that catered to men as well as women, especially with lines of hardware and building materials. It de-emphasized the latest fashions in favor of practicality and durability and allowed customers to select goods without the aid of a clerk. In 1931, Sears sold insurance through its Allstate subsidiary. Yes, you guessed it, Allstate Insurance. My father worked for Allstate for over 30 years, and we even got a discount at Sears. In 1933, Sears issued the first of its Christmas catalogs known as the Sears Wish Book, a catalog featuring toys and gifts separate from the annual Christmas catalog. The Sears catalog became known in the industry as the Consumer's Bible. Starting in the 1950s, the company expanded into suburban markets and malls in the 1960s and the 1970s. In 1973, Sears completed the 110-story Sears Tower in Chicago, which became the world's tallest building at that time. The company became a conglomerate during the mid-20th century, adding Dean Witter and Caldwell Banker Real Estate in 1981, starting Prodigy as a joint venture with IBM in 1984, and introducing the Discover credit card in 1985. In the 1990s, the company began divesting itself of many non-retail entities, which were detrimental to the company's bottom line. Sears spun off its financial services arm, which included brokerage business Dean Witter Reynolds and Discover Card. Sears later acquired hardware chain Orchard Supply Hardware, or OSH, in 1996, and started home improvement store The Great Indoors Home Design Center in 1997. Blunders. The cost of distributing the once highly influential general merchandise catalog became prohibitive. Sales and profits had declined. The company discontinued the catalog in 1993. It dismissed 50,000 workers who had filled the orders. This was before the internet became an effective tool. With the advantage of hindsight, the timing was poor. Sears already had in place what it took Amazon and Walmart years to achieve. In 2003, Sears sold its U.S. retail credit card operation to Citibank. Also in 2003, Sears opened a new concept store called Sears Grand. On November 17, 2004, Kmart Holdings Corporation announced it was going to acquire Sears Roebuck and Company for $11 billion after Kmart completed its own bankruptcy. By 2010, the company was no longer profitable. From 2011 to 2016, the company lost $10.4 billion. Sears spent much of 2014 and 2015 selling off portions of its balance sheet, namely Land's End and its stake in Sears Canada. In 2017, Sears sold the Craftsman brand to Stanley Black & Decker, Inc. for approximately $900 million. During this period, the company also announced that it would close 150 stores, 109 Kmarts, and 41 Sears outlets in an attempt to cut its losses. Sears declined from more than 3,500 physical stores to just 695 U.S. stores from 2010 to 2017. On October 15, 2018, Sears filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Near the end of 2019, Sears sold the brand name Die Hard to Advance Auto Parts for $200 million.
Well, it has been a tough year financially for the town of Hamburg when it comes to the McKinley Mall. And now Sears is going to be closing, which is one of its biggest tenants. New at 11, 2 on your side's Jackie Roberts finds out what's next.
Friday night, and the parking lot still pretty quiet at the McKinley Mall in Hamburg. A site town supervisor, Jim Shaw, knows all too well.
It's kind of depressing to walk around and see 35% of the mall vacant. And now, with the closing of Sears, it's going to be even more like a vast cavern.
While some locally owned shops appear to be thriving, big box stores remain on the decline. After the holidays, the Sears store at the McKinley Mall will be one of 51 Sears to close across the country. This shutdown comes nearly a year after the Sears store at the Eastern Hills Mall closed too. Shaw says the news, while disappointing, is not surprising.
Everyone knew that the next round of closings from corporate headquarters would probably include the McKinley Mall store.
But another anchor store closing up shop means a bigger headache for town officials. After all, the assessed value has already dropped substantially in recent years.
I'm assuming that sooner as opposed to later, there may be a public sale in one fashion or another of the mall property.
An idea Shaw welcomes in hopes of coming up with new creative ideas of how to better use the space. Some of the concepts passed around have been transforming the mall into a mixed-use facility or even a sports complex. Shaw says despite this latest announcement, he's optimistic the McKinley Mall will bounce back, one way or another.
People throughout the community have a lot of great ideas. We just got to get from this phase of slow death into a new phase when we can be reborn again.
Jackie Roberts, Channel 2 News.
Hey, if you just watched my video, thanks for watching. Hit that like button and please subscribe to Eric C. Productions.